What is happening, Internet? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to K-Wing's Let's Plays and a look at Deathstroke Zero in Fortnite. He is out, just like I told you guys he was coming, what was it, a month and a half ago? So all we're waiting on now is Damian Wayne, Robin, and I think Cyborg. And that'll do it for the DC characters till next year, probably. But, there are a bunch of DC characters on sale, again, in the item shop. Besides Deathstroke, who just came out, you have Harley Quinn is back. The Suicide Squad version of Harley Quinn. The Flash and Black Mana are available again. In fact, the Flash bundle is back. So that's cool. And of course, you know, Black Mana, who is probably one of the coolest skins in the game, is back. The comic book Catwoman has returned. So that's cool. You also have some of the Batman bundle. Mostly Bat Gear bundle. So the glider, the Batman Bat Signal, Martial Arts Master, soundtrack. And then Beast Boy is still available. Along with Batman Zero. The Zero bundle is still around. And the Catwoman Zero bundle. So if you missed out on these two, there you go. They're still available. And because of all the, I guess, stuff going on with Horizon Zero Dawn, they bought Zero Dawn is back for a limited time. But yeah, there's some DC stuff available. So Deathstroke, he cost me about 2,000, something like that. He comes with his katanas, he can wear on his back. He's got katanas that he can slice people up with, and a pretty cool ninja glider, the Deathstroke Death Rover or Death Hover thing. There you go, pretty cool. This is what the skin looks like up close. Some people have been complaining about the skin a little bit, the design of it. I mean, this is kind of like his 1980s look a little bit. You've got, like, the metal chainmail mesh on his armor. This is very reminiscent to how Deathstroke looked in the 80s and 90s a little bit. Not so much what you guys are familiar with Deathstroke in things like Slade with Teen Titans or the HBO Teen Titans series. Even Teen Titans Go and all this other stuff. This is more of his classic comic book look from way back, combined with some elements of the New 52 and things like that. It works. I mean, it's the only costume for Deathstroke you're getting, though, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, he doesn't have any other styles available at this time, so that's it for Deathstroke. That's all he has. I currently paired him with the Psylocke sword because I thought it looked cool, but if you want to give him his swords on his back, it should be located in the DC section. That's not it, but those are ninja swords, just not the right ninja swords that we need. For whatever reason, they're kind of jumbling the DC stuff all over the place, so it could be up with Catwoman or yeah, there we go. So there you go. Those are his swords. That matches stuff right there. See? His mask also is very similar to the 80s and 90s version of Deathstroke, which is fine. But people were kind of hoping for, like, that Arkham Origins style Deathstroke. This is more the classic one where he looks like a ninja as opposed to, you know, it's kind of like a Power Rangers villain or something. Although I like his Arkham Origins look. I like the armored look to him. But if you guys are familiar with classic Deathstroke from the old New Teen Titans comic books, this is right up the alley, more or less. Similar color scheme, too. His boots should be orange, though, if they're going for classic Deathstroke. So, like I said, it's a combination of 80s Deathstroke mixed with New 52. So, like, 2011, 2012. And some stuff with the recent HBO Teen Titans show. More or less. It works. It's cool. I'm down with it. I want to see what Damian looks like now. So the Harley Quinn Rebirth skin will be coming into the game this month as well. So if you didn't get a chance to get it through the DC Infinite Comics and some other stuff, you can get it now. Like this month, so. And there should be some other Batman-related stuff happening soon. But I hope you guys are having a great night. This is the last stream of the night. Whoopsies. Not sure if you knew this or not. I read somewhere that Tom Welling would like to play Superman in Matt Reeves' Batman universe. I've heard that rumor. I'm pretty sure that the black Superman that they're considering is for Matt Reeves' Batman universe. Mostly sure. But then again, the whole yeah, cats, lion, laptops. A lot of Warner Media's plans might end up changing because they're not really Warner Media anymore. They're Discover. And Discover likes to make money, and the whole Black Superman thing has not gone over well, along with some of the other plans that they have. So those movies are probably going to be scrapped before December. So we'll see what happens. But Discovery wants to make money. So what would make them money would be like Ben Affleck or Henry Cavill's Superman, Batman, respectively. Some of the other ideas that they have just aren't going to make Discovery money. So things that DC would really be shooting for would be like Jon Stewart, Green Lantern, Ben Affleck, Batman stuff on HBO Max, Henry Cavill in Black Adam stuff. Some of the crazy ideas that they have that a majority of the general public don't want, probably going to get scrapped. More than likely. See, what's funny is Hollywood and comic book artists are realizing right now that Twitter doesn't speak for them. They don't buy their stuff. They don't support their movies. Twitter is kind of like the estranged child of normal decency in folks. And the general audience that they're really trying to make stuff for is not on Twitter. Where most of us, you don't go on Twitter because you get made fun of by people, you get harassed. If you disagree with people, you get called an ist and a phobe, and it's just like, normal people aren't on Twitter. The psychos from Tumblr are on Twitter. They migrated. But those are not the people that buy the comics and who watch the movies. So the fact that these comic book companies have been pandering to the wrong crowd for so long is pretty hilarious. Because they, you know, they tomb themselves. But Discovery... What I like about the Discovery CEO is he's smart. He understands that we need to do things to make money. And by pandering to Twitter, they're not going to make money. So a lot of plans with DC is going to be changing, which is good. But it took them too long, you know? It's kind of like, well, you should have probably done that months ago or years ago, but whatever. But this could be good things for like Deathstroke on HBO Max or Batman or Henry Cavill, all kinds of stuff. We'll see. The merger, or not the merger, the buyout finalizes in May of next year. They just have to go through some government stuff. There should be some pretty interesting things. The Rock wants Henry Cavill to appear as Superman in his stuff, so. And HBO Max really wants Ben Affleck's Batman for something, so we'll see. I'm optimistic for once in a very long time. If the buyout thing never happened, I would tell you everything's done. Black Superman's coming. Batgirl's coming, all this stuff. Now it's like everything's up in the air. You don't know. It's not set in stone anymore. The only thing set in stone is the Rock's movie, which is filming, the Flash movie, which is filming, and the Green Lantern HBO Max series, which is filming. So, those are the only things that are definite right now. Starring Guy Gardner, I believe. Deathstroke. Fortnite Skin. Whoopsies. So, how many of you guys actually been reading the Batman Zero Point books? Are you enjoying them? There's 4 issues now. I think it's okay. I really enjoyed like the first 2 or 3 issues. The 4th one was alright. The only thing I'm really reading at DC right now is Nightwing. Those books are kind of fun. Deathstroke, Fortnite Skin, DC Infinite, I guess. I don't know. Deathstroke. So people are trying to get the Deathstroke HBO Max thing trending too, because they really want that HBO Max Deathstroke series. And so does the actor. The actor went through a lot of work to get himself ready to play Deathstroke in the DC Cinematic Universe, and nobody really knows what's going on. So. Oh my gosh, so many streams today, guys. You have no idea. You have no idea how many streams today. Ah! Did Amber open the link I sent her for the channel art? I don't know, like, the Reddit stuff. Loki was on the loading screen in one of the Batman comic books. Same goes for Samus. That's cool. Do you think that Shazam will be added to Fortnite in the future? I don't know. Anything's possible. I don't know. Yeah, I'm really surprised that they decided to use this version of Deathstroke, though. Every time you do Fortnite, we have conversations, which is good. Do you think both Gotham Knights and Kill the Justice League will be at E3? I think Gotham Knights will be at E3. Kill the Justice League will be at probably DC Fandom with a delay announcement. Warner Media, or rather, Discovery/Warner Media will have games at E3. One of those games, at the moment, is still Gotham Knights. They could change it. Nothing is definite until, it actually appears. But according to intel I have, at E3, the digital event or whatever, Warner Brothers is still supposed to appear. And it's supposed to be like WB Games Montreal, the people who did Harry Potter, whatever company is making Harry Potter, I don't remember. They're supposed to be at E3. That's the only game they're showing. Supposedly, Traveler's Tales has bowed out because the game is not ready. They're having... they won't really say if it's issues related with the Star Wars game, but if the Star Wars game shows up at the E3, it would just be a trailer that you've already seen. Because things are not going well with that project. They could show the new Lego, DC superheroes game, if they're going to do that this year, but we'll find out. I would say Gotham Knights is a definite, though, unless they pull out. If they pull out and they're waiting for DC Fandom, I don't know why they would, because the game is pretty much ready to go. So, but they're not really doing... I think it's a digital thing at E3 this year, so... I don't think any press are attending or anything like that. I didn't see anything from Warner Brothers about, an invite to California, so I don't think that it's a, what do you call it? That there's actually going to be people there this year. Supposedly people are going to be attending San Diego Comic-Con in November, but that's still up in the air. Hi. No, don't box me in. I don't like being boxed in. I asked you nicely. No. I was actually looking at pictures of Deathstroke a minute ago. So I can totally see some of the influence for the different costumes that they put together. How's it going? I was correct, though. Just based on my initial assessment of his costume, it's a combination of the New 52, 1980s New Teen Titans, and a little bit of the armored Deathstroke. But not a lot. I would say that his costume is very similar to what they did in the New 52 animated movies with Deathstroke. More or less. But there are actually people disappointed. They were like, I was hoping for an Arkham Origins look to Deathstroke, because when people think Deathstroke, they think Arkham Origins, more so than they think Titans. Well, a lot of casual Batman fans see the Arkham Origins version of Deathstroke as kind of the canon version of Deathstroke. When in reality, Deathstroke and Batman aren't really mortal enemies. He's mortal enemies with his son, Dick Grayson. Slade and Grayson hate each other, going all the way back to the 1980s. Deathstroke did appear as Deathstroke the Terminator in the 1980s in a few Batman books, where he kicked Batman's butt, and they worked together, kinda, sorta. It was a weird book. Deathstroke could have killed Batman, and he didn't, because Batman had plot armor in the book. Deathstroke wiped the floor with him on a skyscraper. KO'd him and just could have killed him. He didn't. And then years later, Deathstroke showed up again as a villain in the Titans books. And he really got some cool character development with the whole Jericho thing. And of course, the Judas contract with Titans, so... He's probably primarily a Dick Grayson villain. That's why it's kind of weird not to see Slade really show up in the Nightwing books right now, but who knows? Maybe Tom Taylor could do something with, you know, Deathstroke. But, you know, with their plans to utilize Deathstroke in the DC Cinematic Universe, should Discovery, you know, choose to go with it, Bruce Wayne and Deathstroke are going to be mortal enemies because Dick Grayson was responsible for doing some stuff. And he was Batman's partner, and Slade blames him for everything. And, of course, Grayson's not around anymore, so... Batman is also responsible for making Slade lose his eye in the cinematic universe. If those, you know, little hints from the Deathstroke actor are to be believed. So, you know, he has a lot of beef with Batman. The Bat Fam was responsible for his son's death, more or less, in the Snyderverse, so... By Bat Fam, I just mean Batman or Robin, because there's no Batgirl. There's no Jason Todd. It was only Batman or Robin. Huh, honey? If the Nightwing comics right now are good? Oh, keys. Yeah, I'm just kind of running around with Deathstroke right now. Slade has not appeared in the Nightwing comics right now. I'm saying he should because Tom Taylor, like, really knows what he's doing with the Nightwing books. They're fun. Currently, Dick Grayson is fighting this guy that, like, basically fatalities people's hearts with, like, a type of vacuum machine or something. Vacuum arm. It's known... It's a clever name. If you like Kingdom Hearts, the villain that Dick Grayson is fighting right now is called the Heartless. Because it steals people's hearts. You know, the first time I heard that name, I kid you not, like, one of the, I think the town theme in Kingdom Hearts, like, played in my head a little bit. Like, when I was like, oh, the Heartless, and I heard, you know, the Sora running around one of the towns in Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, oh, that's interesting that music popped into my head while reading this. I am a disturbed individual. But no, seriously, Heartless is the new big bad for Nightwing for right now. Oh, you know, we could just move the truck. Or not. We can't move the truck, so we have to blow it up. Ouch! I'm on fire! And not the good kind. Oh my goodness. Traverse Town! Yeah, that's it. Yep. Yep. I'm serious. The villain that Nightwing is currently fighting is called Heartless. He takes people's hearts. That's what he does. It's a little weird. I think that Tom Taylor could find a way of fitting Deathstroke into the Nightwing stories. I think that'd be interesting. I would like Deathstroke to be basically Nightwing's archenemy again. I'd like to see more of that. Instead, he's just kind of become like, I don't know, he's sort of like an anti-hero or a gun for hire type thing. You know, he battles whoever DC writers decide for him to fight. He's become, over the years, more of like an anti-hero than like assassin for hire. I don't know, it feels a little bit too much like Deadpool a little bit in that sense. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, they were both always mercenaries, but the Deathstroke that I've seen the past 10 years, he feels like he's just kind of like a gun for hire that is, at heart, kind of like an anti-hero. Deathstroke, at least from what I remember in the 80s, he was like a stone-cold bad guy, you know? Not just the Titan books aside, his own books, he was pretty bad. So, I mean, you know, is what it is. Also, I think people would be more accustomed to Deathstroke being like a bad guy for the DC Cinematic Universe. Which, it's kind of interesting to see the Deathstroke HBO Max thing trying to trend again. You got to give the Snyderverse fans credit for, you know, basically trying to get their voices heard and things like that. And we'll find out, you know, what Discovery does with that. Warner Media, in a sense, is toast. Like, I don't understand why people on Twitter, you know, or not Twitter, yeah, Twitter, peddling false information that it's just a merger and it's going to be business as usual for Warner Media. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't have people at DC and people at Warner and stuff like that kind of freaking out a little bit. Because they're probably not going to keep a lot of their higher-end jobs. They're going to be replaced by people that either work at Discovery or AT&T, like Foley. Because they're being sold off. They're not, like, a joint merger. If it was a joint merger, usually what happens is the CEOs bring in somebody else to kind of lead the company, and they take higher-up jobs or whatever. You have the Discovery guy. I forget his name. Stanky, I think? No, I don't think that's it. Stanks? I can't remember his name. It starts with an S. He's going to be the guy in charge of everything. I'm sorry if I butchered his name. But, you know, he's the dude who's going to be handling all of Warner Media's assets along with Discovery. So. I know his name starts with an S, but I'm not familiar with Discovery people. So. I think I totally said his name wrong. He sounds like a member of the Little Rascals, how I described him. I don't think there was a Stanky of the Little Rascals, though. Maybe there was. I don't know. Ah! Either that or maybe I just subconsciously used a ghetto term. I don't know. It's possible. It's been a long day. Stanks! Yes, his name is Stanks. That's it. I was close. I was really close. Yes. Stanks is going to be the CEO of the Warner Media assets and Discovery. So that's why I'm saying you probably have a very good chance of some, don't misquote me, some of the DC Cinematic Universe coming back. Some of it. Not all of it. Not necessarily Snyder's vision, but some of the actors, like Ben Affleck with his HBO thing, Henry Cavill battling The Rock, and some other characters. And then horrible ideas like Black Superman and Batwoman Beyond and things like that. Those will be, like, kicked to the curb where they belong because, you know, re-envisioning Clark Kent as a African-American is just dumb. It's not Clark Kent. Clark Kent is a white guy from Kansas. Now, if you want to bring in a black Superman, everybody's already told them what they're supposed to do, but they're just stupid. They don't want to do Val-Zod. They don't want to use Calvin. Calvin would be a more interesting story because he's the president of the United States in his own universe. So not only is he literally a superhero, he grew up to be president of that Earth. I mean, that's kind of a big deal. Whereas Clark Kent is just like a reporter who just, you know, has really no salary, falls in love with an Earth woman. Wouldn't it be more exciting to tell a Superman story about the president of the United States who's secretly a superhero? You could even, like, not make it a serious drama movie. It could be kind of like a fun family film. Imagine that? A Superman movie that would be fun for the whole family? You know? But no, Warner Brothers is stupid, so they just want to check some marks and boxes when, in reality, they have characters they could use. So, in that respect, the Discovery thing is good because some of these really bad ideas, which Michael B. Jordan even said not utilizing Calvin or Val-Zod is a stupid idea. You know, it's pretty good for people that like certain things. I mean, Discovery is not dumb. They know the assets that they have. They're not just trying to appease Twitter weirdos. They're trying to make money. You know? So, I don't know. I wasn't optimistic before about the Discovery thing because I was like, oh, if it's just a merger, nothing's going to change. And it's like, oh, it's a buyout. Oh, okay, so things could actually change. People want a Jon Stewart Green Lantern movie. Before, Warner Brothers said, nah, we're going to do something with Jon Stewart. And Zack Snyder's like, when? When? You have this Green Lantern thing coming. You're saying, I can't use Jon Stewart in my Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you guys are going to use Jon Stewart, but you have this HBO Max series coming out, and you're not utilizing Jon Stewart. What are you saving Jon Stewart for? See, things like that. So Discovery sees things like, you know, how Warner Brothers used to be. Okay, we got all these characters. Let's see who we can use and propel upwards for a great TV show like Justice League the Animated Series. Things like that. You know, Discovery they're really smart when it comes to stuff. Some of their shows are really boring, but they know how to, you know, make money, which is something Warner Media hasn't done ever since AT&T bought them. Discovery has shows about getting attacked by bears. I want to see Jason Momoa guest host Tanked in his Aquaman suit. That's what I want to see happen from the Discovery buyout. I want Jason Momoa, in order to promote Aquaman for Discovery, Aquaman 2, he shows up on Tanked, and he has them, like, make an Atlantis-themed aquarium, and they go on set, and then the thing is in the movie. Like, the tank thing is done. It's just like an Easter egg for people. Not only did you get, like, a cool star to be on Tanked, but it also appears as an Easter egg in the movie. Boom. There you go. Look at that. That's smart. There you go, Discovery. Do that. Get Jason Momoa to do that. That'd be cool. I'd be like, yeah. That's a great promotional thing, right? I'd say so. Fish, Aquaman, aquarium, Tanked. Boom. That's a fun thing to do. I'm mostly joking, but I think it would actually work. Because if the Tanked audience saw that aquarium being made, and then it just randomly shows up in Mira or Aquaman's bedroom in the movie, then you know where it came from. Like, oh wow, I could actually watch this thing be built on Tanked episode Aquaman. Neat. Because then it's like, in marketing, you would have promoted the Aquaman movie, the new movie. The guest star would have gotten to do something fun or unusual to promote his movie. It's not just a talk show. So it's like you're kind of spreading the Aquaman marketing. I don't know. It'd be interesting. People laugh at that kind of stuff, but that's pretty much what 80s and 90s people did. Like, when they promoted stuff. The chat thinks I'm Batman? I could be. I work nights. Is this the real Batman? No. I don't know. Batman cannot play Fortnite because Batman is bad at guns. I don't use guns. I don't like guns. Guns are a coward's weapon. But I don't like cowards. Oh, I'm behind somebody. No! No! Oh, so do you guys know why they stopped using Deathstroke the Terminator as terminology for the character? It's because the Terminator movie came out, and they, I think they tried to sue DC Comics, even though DC Comics was the first one to use the Terminator, like, wording. But DC lost, and, you know, the Terminator movie won out. Because the Terminator movie was bigger than DC Comics. I don't know how, it just was. Of course, sweetheart. I love you too. What? Always screaming, yeah, I know. Just going to sleep. Because I won't be able to talk louder than you. What? You'll see. You can try. I mean, there's only 100 people watching, so it wouldn't be too bad. Fine. That Clue movie is available, but Without a Clue is not on Amazon Prime. It should be. Yeah, he has the Terminator in his Fortnite description, but they can't label a comic book as Deathstroke the Terminator anymore, because it's like they lost out in the not the branding.
They lost out with Captain Marvel too.
Mm. Yeah, but that was in the 80s, and what's funny is Deathstroke came out first, I think.
Don't talk back to Girl the Turtle.
Oh, I need to return to lobby. What am I doing? Yep, copyright. Who should we add to our kid-friendly game? Oh, I know, a mass-murdering assassin. Woo! Good times. Good job, Fortnite. Nothing says kid-friendly like assassinations. And there goes my monetization.
Can I ask a question?
Hmm.
About Deathstroke? Oh wait, we're not talking about Deadshot.
Nope. Deadshot and Deathstroke are two different people.
Are they bringing it?
Honey.
Are they bringing Deadshot back or no?
Deadshot?
Is Will Smith coming back to play Deadshot?
Nobody knows what's happening with Deadshot. Like, Will Smith is still listed as the character in the DC Cinematic Universe.
I thought Will Smith went insane.
No, Will Smith isn't the reason the movie failed. Will Smith was... I liked Will Smith's Deadshot in there. It wasn't Deadshot's fault. It was the idea that they fought a CGI villain that was essentially a cloud, just like Green Lantern. The only reason the Ryan Reynolds movie... I would say, like, the first... Out of the 4 arcs, or 3 arcs of the Green Lantern movie, the first 2 aren't bad.
I liked how he turned into a suit.
But his villain was stupid. It should have been Sinestro. They should have had the villain be Sinestro. And then Ryan Reynolds would have been back for multiple Green Lantern movies. The fact that he fought a giant cloud is stupid. So, in the same sense, the Suicide Squad's villain was very bad when, in reality, the villain, according to David Ayer, was supposed to be the Joker. The Joker was supposed to be the big red herring at the end of the movie, as, like, the big villain behind everything, but they decided, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do some reshoots and change it up. He was supposed to be, like, the Suicide Squad's main enemy. And then they changed it. I don't know why they changed it. They just did. There are a lot of Joker scenes that were cut from the movie.
What about the girl that was playing the witch?
The Enchantress wasn't supposed to be in the original. She was all reshoots, I think. They changed it. They changed the entire plot.
Also, wasn't she like not a very like hard like she didn't seem intimidating?
No, she wasn't very intimidating. She felt out of place. Katana felt kind of out of place. A lot of the characters just didn't.
Why were they fighting a girl that was like smaller than all of them combined?
Because in the Suicide Squad, they were supposed to set up, like, Joker actually had abusive scenes with Harley Quinn that they took out because they were worried about the Me Too movement. But, like, you know, Joker was slapping her and torturing her and doing all this other stuff that really showed him as the villain. Yeah, really showed him as the bad guy of the picture and, like, really traumatizing Harley Quinn to the point where some stuff happened, but they, you know, they cut it all. They filmed some of it, like the scene where she's about to shoot the Joker in the alleyway by the car or something was filmed. Joker was supposed to survive the helicopter and show up in the subway attacking the Suicide Squad. They didn't show it. They had a different ending for the Joker.
They should have the Joker be the villain.
He was supposed to be. Like, when he gets Harley back or whatever, they made it out that he loved her in the cut that we saw, and
He didn't.
I don't...
He used her.
Right, he used her. Like, in...
He doesn't know love.
Right, that's what people were weirded out about. Like,
But it's not weird. It's not weird. That's not weird because I know people and I know certain people that don't love people. There's evil people all the time.
right. So
There's
he
evil
was...
people in my family and yours that don't love people back. There's people that you can give all the love to that you want to, and they will never love you. They will keep hurting you over and over again because
So, yeah.
that they don't know. He cannot. He doesn't have the capability of loving.
So he was supposed to be the big bad. Like, he was in the final scene, he was supposed to be revealed as the bad guy.
He still wants a girlfriend though, but he doesn't love his girlfriend.
I don't understand what the scene detailed why he rescued her, but it was for something that
just to use her though.
No, she had something. She had something.
But like evil people always use people and
but
keep people
what
around.
they did in the theatrical cut is they made Joker look like he was a lovesick crazy person who was super possessive of her and things like that.
Like,
but they cut so much of the movie that showed that he was a very bad person. And that's why people couldn't get behind the Joker, is because he felt like kind of a joke in the movie. It's just like, oh, he's just like a simp. he's a guy who's obsessed with Harley.
Also,
and possessive, and
he looks shorter than Harley.
He is shorter than Harley.
Wow, that's weird.
Something like that, I think.
He looked way smaller than her.
Yeah,
which is weird.
But I don't know. There's rumors going around that Harley Quinn dies in this new Suicide Squad movie, and she desperately wants to be a part of Zack Snyder's, because she has this feeling that Zack Snyder's going to be back after the whole Discovery thing, and she wants to be a part of the Snyder Cut universe. So I'm pretty sure that in the DC Cinematic Universe, Harley Quinn is going bye-bye.
And then she'll resurrect in the Zack Snyder universe.
Yeah, something like that. Because Zack Snyder, she saw the stuff where Batman said that she died in his arms cursing the Joker, and she's like, ooh, I'd like to see that scene. So that's stuff that Zack would have to come back and film.
Cool.
Yeah.
I heard that, I was just saw a weird video in my feed where they said, like, Jared Leto's becoming a cult leader or something in real life.
Huh? I wouldn't put it past him, I guess.
Like, he's kind of gone off the deep end in real life.
I mean, the dude sent some pretty strange stuff to people at the Suicide Squad, like, filming. He's a little, I wish method actors would stop trying to make themselves the Joker, because that's... Mark Hamill did probably one of the best versions of the Joker, and he didn't keep a Joker diary. He didn't think or plot or act like the Joker, in method acting. Because, I mean, it just kind of messes you up, because the Joker is a really evil individual. So Mark just, he played the role, but he didn't, like, become the role. And that's why I think he's the best Joker, is because, he's a fantastic actor, but he didn't lose himself in the role.
Myself, like, if I think about something bad that happened to me a long time ago, it can mess me up for a few days, like, thinking about it. It's better not to think about it. So it's like, imagine thinking about it for months,
Isn't it interesting, though, that the guy who played the Joker on, like, Saturday morning cartoons is still, like...
yeah, he's still the best Joker.
Yeah, he's still seen as the best Joker.
And he's the scariest one, too.
Exactly, yes.
I never have nightmares of Jared Leto.
So recently,
bad acting.
I
have nightmares of the cartoon Joker.
You haven't seen the Teen Titans Go thing, but they did a parody with Joker finally appeared in Teen Titans Go, and in this version he's a con artist, like a really bad con artist that's responsible for like taking people's money and insurance scams and things like that, and Starfire gets him in the end. But when they're trying to break into Joker's base, all the different Teen Titans try a different Joker impression to get the clown to open the door. One of them does Jack Nicholson, Cyborg does. It's actually a pretty good impression that Carrie does. And then...
that's cool.
Yeah. Then Beast Boy does Heath Ledger, and they're about ready to open the door, and then Robin's like, I'm going to do Jared Leto. And then Cyborg and Beast Boy are like, what are you doing, fool? He's like, I'm Jared Leto Joker. They're like, nobody likes that Joker. So even Titans Go was throwing shade at,
He doesn't... I don't know what was going on with his teeth or something.
Yeah. No. Robin did the full cosplay as Jared Leto's Joker.
Wow.
And all the Titans burned Robin. And then Beast Boy was like, now, fool, I got to do my best Mark Hamill to get this fool to open up the door. So he dresses like the Mark Hamill Joker.
Oh, wow.
And the dude opens the door, and he sounds scary. Like, the Beast Boy actor did a really good Mark Hamill impression.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, dang, the voice actors at Titans, they're actually pretty good voice actors.
Yeah, they're having fun in it.
Oh, you can tell. Yeah. I didn't like the guy that got to voice the actual Joker for their episode, though. If they could have just gotten Beast Boy to play that kind of in between of Mark Hamill and Heath Ledger, That would have been great.
The Jared Leto, like, it doesn't, I don't know, it's just, even that scene at the end of the Snyder Cut, it kind of, like, ruined the Snyder Cut for me. I didn't really like it.
I like that Joker that he's playing better than in the Suicide Squad, though.
Yeah, but it could still be way better.
He only had a few lines.
I also, no offense, but I don't know. I just think Joaquin Phoenix's and also Mark Hamill's cartoon Joker are better looking than Jared Leto's Joker. I don't think Jared Leto is a very good, attractive person.
Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable to look at him.
I liked him better in Snyder Cut, though. I liked his.
I don't know why. I just don't like how he looks.
He cleaned up much better as a traditional-looking Joker in the Snyder Cut. Like, he really did.
Yeah, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like his head was too small.
Ah!
His head seems too small for me.
For the lines that he had, though, it looked really good.
Is weird.
And I think that both Ben Affleck and Jared Leto did a good job with, the limited time that they had to film that scene. It would have been nice if they could have actually, played against each other. Whoops. I botched that. It would have been really cool if they could have, like, been in the same room, bouncing dialogue off each other.
He just doesn't feel intimidating, especially next to Ben Affleck, who's huge. This is like
Fun fact.
He just looks so small.
Ben Affleck was not in Batman shape to film the last of those scenes. He got into quick Batman shape, but he wasn't in like BVS shape to do that. He was in only the top half of his body was like not quarantined.
Like if
shape.
I met Joaquin Phoenix like without the makeup and stuff, I would think he seems like a nice person. Like he seems like a nice man. He seems nice.
But you want to know something interesting?
But Jared Leto, I see him in person. He looks like a freak even in real life.
Right now, Ben Affleck does not have a very like big role coming up where he needs to be in BVS shape. For whatever reason, people are talking about this. This is why people are thinking that the Discovery thing has been greenlighted. Is right now Affleck is in BVS Batman shape, not Justice League shape, where he was kind of like Bat Dad. Bat bod, Bat Dad bod. He is in BVS Ben Affleck shape right now, and he's getting bigger and beefier. And people are like, well, what role does he have coming up that he's getting into this amount of shape for? Is he just like,
Maybe the Powerpuff Girls.
No, it has to be for that Batfleck HBO thing. Because there's nothing else. I mean, yeah, he's back with J-Lo. Maybe J-Lo wanted him in, like, Bat-bod shape or something, but...
I don't know. I mean, I guess I've been watching the tabloids. Like, the tabloids said that they're not together anymore.
Oh, then there's really no reason that he would, really... Because before BVS, he never got that big.
I saw a tabloid that said, like, J-Lo kicked him to the curb because he was whiny.
Have I played a Sega game before? Yeah.
Like, okay.
I played a bunch of Genesis games. And Dreamcast. Why?
Yeah, we play Sega games.
We've had Ultimates have us play Sega games before. Ultimates, of course, is our highest VIP tier on this channel.
We've done a lot of Sonic games.
Oh, speaking of our VIPs, tomorrow I'm playing Cat Quest 2. Very excited because I get to do my cat voice now.
I was thinking like, I'm sorry, I was looking at your face. I was like,
when I did the Nya thing.
You have nice bone structure, Luke. You would look like a good Joker. I just feel like Joker...
I don't know how to take that.
Joker is so uncomfortable to watch.
You always told me I had a jawline to be Batman. Now you're saying I look like Joker.
You would look like either one would be great for you.
I don't know how I feel about this.
I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing. I'm kind of tired.
I'm already becoming a villain in society. I mean, you're giving me bad ideas.
I just feel like
I'm gonna dye my hair green now and wear white makeup.
Joker is already uncomfortable to look at with the face paint and stuff.
Want to know how I got these scars?
I just feel like he should look somewhat decent looking with his like face shape or something.
Face shape?
I think that fine. I think that Joaquin Phoenix is somewhat handsome for his age.
Yeah, he is an older guy.
I think that what's his name was pretty good looking.
No.
Who's that guy? You don't know how to tell the truth, or you can't handle the truth.
Nicholson? How do you forget Nicholson? That guy? That guy?
I just don't think Jared Leto...
That's modern Joker, woman!
I just don't think
That guy.
I think that, you know...
I'm just that guy.
I just don't think that Jared Leto is very good looking. It just makes me uncomfortable to watch him.
Why are you guys shooting each other?
I don't know why. I don't know why. He just creeps me out. Just when I see the end scene, it's like it looks like Batman is at this table with all the jocks, and there's this creepy guy at the other table that's like slinking into his chair, like hasn't showered for days. He's like, yeah, I'm the Joker. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. It just seems weird. It's just weird to me. It just... I don't want to say Columbine, but...
You called Jack Nicholson that guy.
I'm sorry, I forgot his
guy
name.
How do you forget the modern
I
Joker?
forgot his name.
He was the one who made the Joker not a joke.
I'm saying Jack Nicholson has a nice face. Joaquin Phoenix has a nice face. Jared Leto, no. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't even know how he got in. I guess maybe his acting skills got him into Hollywood or something.
Jared Leto's a good actor. He's just, you know,
creepy.
In Suicide Squad, he's not a good Joker.
He's creepy.
I would be like, look, before I said that Jared Leto could not be a good Joker, if you clean him up like you did in, you know, the post-apocalyptic world, except maybe not give him, like, the long, grungy Heath Ledger hair.
That's what I think was the problem. I think that was part of it, was the grungy hair.
They did that on purpose.
That was creeping me out. Like, dude.
Both Jokers,
like
Joaquin Phoenix and Jared Leto's now have done the Heath Ledger long hair. So give Joker, you know, normal-looking hair. Have him show up in either Ben Affleck or Deathstroke series, but, you know, give him, like, good direction, like how Zack Snyder didn't let him play his Joker. He played Zack's version of the Joker. And that's why I think Jared Leto worked really well in the scenes that we saw as him, and I was like, oh, I want to see more with this tease.
Because he played Zack's version.
Because he played anybody's version of Joker other than his own. His version of Joker's no good. The version that... when he's directed by Zack Snyder and Ben Affleck is a good Joker.
I can imagine him being like, okay, now I'm gonna do this, and he's like, no, you're gonna do this. Okay, now I'm gonna ad-lib and do this. No, you're not.
The only ad-lib that he did that didn't make it in the movie is when he did the society thing. We live in a society thing. That was Leto. That was Leto.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. We live in a society. That was Leto. That was one of the things. They did a bunch of lines, or different takes, and that was one of Leto's takes. And it didn't make it in the final movie. It made it into the trailers. So, but I will defend that Leto, under good direction, can be a good Joker. We just need to see more of him. Like, the Snyder Cut is basically like a 4-hour preview of what can happen in the DC Cinematic Universe, with the characters handled with a good director, a good script, and a good story. And the theatrical cut is what Warner Media showed us they can do with DC Comics characters, which nobody wants. So my argument is Discovery, who we all know is about making money, is not going to want to go the theatrical route of Justice League, which theatrical route of Justice League would give us Black Superman, Batwoman, and all these other characters that people don't want right now because they're not the characters that people want.
Yeah,
like Val Zod or Calvin Ellis, Barbara Gordon, things like that.
Black Superman, but a different version, the comic book version.
They wanted the comic book character, the one that's, you know, just not like tokenized, race changed. Yeah. And then people on Twitter, which Twitter is not what, you know, normal society should follow by any means. It's a cesspool of hive and villainy, for the most part. Unless people follow us, and then those people are saying...
Which is worse, Luke? Twitter or TikTok?
TikTok isn't... It's just about really... Well, there are some really hot take videos.
Yeah, people do hot takes, and also people have a lot of weird stuff.
But, I mean, you know...
I'd say people screaming at each other over politics on Twitter maybe takes the cake.
I can't even... I had to unfollow a bunch of, like, people I knew that were journalists that back when journalism was good. I unfollowed like 50 people yesterday, or during the whole IGN thing, because it's like I couldn't even see their feeds anymore because it's just like cancer. So I was like, I don't want to be reading all this insane stuff.
That's when people have too many Sailor Moon.
No. The sad thing is I respected a lot of these former colleagues because I thought they were actually good journalists, and just to see a lot of them turn crazy activists, it's sad because some of these people were really good at their craft. Once. They really were.
May I ask a weird question?
Not anymore, though.
Completely shifting the subject?
Sure.
Alright, so if they did release a movie where Joker was completely beating up Harley, like, over and over again.
That would be very hard to do.
Like, number one, like, how would people react to that? Like...
Me Too movement?
Like, would people be throwing, like... Would people sending death threats to the people that made the movie or something?
Oh, there would be a huge... See, what people don't understand is the Joker's supposed to be a controversial character.
Yeah.
And Harley Quinn had a very abusive relationship with Joker that she eventually breaks away from and gets a good relationship.
It's supposed to be talking about, like, reality.
Joker is not a good person.
Think of it like a history film about war or something. You would be showing really bad.
But no, in the society that we live in right now, they could not release a Joker Harley Quinn movie that deals with the more toxic aspect of their relationship, which their entire relationship is toxic. They can never be friends. They both use each other. Joker's way worse though. Harley was, trying to be more docile and sweet and kind, and maybe seeing that behind the laughs and the madness and the death that maybe he's a good person. I don't know how, but I mean, he's not. At the end of the day, Joker is the Joker. Joker is crazy guy.
Sorry.
Did you just...
I just breathed in. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sorry.
That's fine. But yeah, I mean, they should make a movie like that, but they won't. Even if it was an R-rated movie, they would still get, like, Twitter would, shred them to pieces. But Twitter's day in the sun is ending because, I mean, comic books are going to be moving away from Twitter audience because Twitter audience does not equal sales. And, Discovery knows this, and now DC Comics knows this a little bit too late.
I think that Harley, like, it's like a typical abusive relationship where, like, basically you get infatuated with somebody and then basically they tell you you're a piece of crap over and over again every day. Like, after you get hooked on them. Then they tell you you're terrible and you're worthless and you'll never find anyone else but you. And then you believe that, you start, like, thinking, like, oh great, I'll never find anyone else but Joker. And that's how abusers, like, actually manipulate and control people. Is they keep lowering your self-esteem to the point where you can't leave because they've told you you're worthless. So you think nobody else will want me because I am worth nothing. So then you always stay with them. It's basically mind control.
Yeah. Speaking of interesting relationships, it's now June 2nd, so we have 48 hours till our anniversary. What do you want to do? You want to do the Chinese, or do you have something else in mind? Because, I mean, it's June 2nd at midnight, so that means we have one more day to figure out what we're... Because I was all for the, getting you the Chinese food, because I know you really like it.
I mean, if you want, we could go somewhere else. We could pick up from that one place we picked up from before. Or, remember we picked up from...
The Italian place?
We could pick up from Applebee's.
You want to do Applebee's?
I don't know. I feel awkward talking about it on the stream.
Well, this is... I kind of have free time while I wait for...
this is your free time during the stream?
Yeah,
Yes, I will tell you my innermost thoughts on what we're going to do for our anniversary right now in front of everyone watching.
Well, you can text me. It's like... Because, I mean, I'm open to anything.
But, no, that relationship, like... how Paul Dini and stuff was talking about it. That's exactly how abusive relationships work.
Yeah, no, but you can't tell certain stories in this climate.
But that's actually a real thing that people go through.
Yeah, it'd actually be very relevant, and the fact that Harley would overcome that would be a big deal.
There's probably a lot of women and men that are in relationships like that right now. Look at Johnny Depp.
Yep, Johnny Depp is the Harley Quinn in the Joker relationship with Amber Heard. Yeah. Yep.
Except for in his case...
No, I said he was the Harley Quinn, and she was the Joker.
I know she is the Harley Quinn.
She was the abuser. He's the Harley Quinn.
I know that, but I'm saying in his case, I don't think he felt so worthless he couldn't leave. I think he felt bad for her. Like, he didn't want to leave because he doesn't like leaving people.
Yeah.
In general.
He should have married Renata, the Rider girl.
Yeah.
It's
People say he really loved Winona Ryder.
he should have married her. Should have been like, you know what? I'm gonna take up the gumption and I'm gonna do it. But oh well.
Even his wife that he left his wife and kids for, like, Amber. Like, even that lady stuck up for him. His wife that he left. Her.
Happy anniversary, K-Wings. It's 48 hours. Happy early anniversary, Luke and Amber. I've seen Sailor Moon now in 3 different streams. Sailor Moon is one of our subscribers that's pretending to be Sailor Moon. One of our members.
I'm sorry, Sailor Moon.
We don't know who it is, though.
I cannot. Sailor Moon, I'm sorry. I did have to hide.
If you win, I'll give you $20. Well, I think you should go to a different stream because
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Not gonna happen in Fortnite.
Sorry, Sailor Moon, I'm sorry. I had to hide you on Twitter because you have too many gifs of yourself.
I'm actually gonna make Tuxedo Mask in Miitopia tonight. I think I'm gonna turn because now we have the vampire class, so I'm gonna do my best to make a Tuxedo Mask me, and then I'm gonna I can't remember his real name. I think it's Darien, or I think that's what it was in the 90s. I don't know his Japanese
Luke,
name.
Just think of it like, think of it like how have you ever, like, well, not to get too weird on the topic or anything like that, but...
Oh, gosh, it's 24 hours. Oh, wow.
What?
24 hours until June 3rd. Whoopsies.
Thank you, Ruga. Thanks for the super chat. Well, just think of it like this, not to get too much on this weird subject, but...
Okay.
You know how bullies act in school where sometimes you have a really big kid, and they bully a little kid, and a little kid follows them everywhere and, like, does whatever they say?
Yeah.
That's basically how abusive relationships work with guys and girls. Except for there's one of the people will be the big kid and the other person will be the little kid.
So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, let me ask you something. Like, what do you think of the Deathstroke skin? Like,
I don't know, it looks really shiny and weird.
You think it looks shiny and weird? What?
Why does he look like the Terminator Deathstroke?
Because this is what he looked like in the 80s and 90s. Sort of. It's not like the modern version of Deathstroke you're more familiar with.
Like an older version.
I mean, he looks like a version that's not tied up with too much copyright, probably.
Why does his mask, like, conform to his face so much?
80s and 90s Deathstroke mask. It wasn't armor. It wasn't a helmet. It wasn't like a Power Ranger mask. It was a ninja mask.
Oh.
With a missing eye and, you know. Not the helmet.
It's cool, I guess.
But you would have liked, like, the more Arkham Origins look, or...
No, because I didn't really...
You didn't like the Arkham Origins?
Arkham Origins. I don't know what Deathstroke I'm thinking of. It wasn't in the animated series.
We're going to play a fun game. Okay, we're going to go Deathstroke costumes, and we're going to look at some, and you tell me which one you think looks cool. So we're going images. You have...
Yeah, that one. What's that? Oh, that's Arkham.
That is kind of like Arkham Origins / like DC Cinematic Universe inspired.
What is this one?
Teen Titans.
That's what I was thinking.
So the Slade costume.
I think.
Yeah, where it's a helmet. Okay.
Why is his eye showing?
Because he's missing an eye.
No, I don't. Who's this one?
That's CW Deathstroke.
Oh.
Yeah. Camera's like, that's Titans.
Oh like that. This one looks like Deathstroke.
That's DC Cinematic Universe.
It is?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's DC Cinematic Universe.
This one looks good.
That's the CW one again.
Oh. I don't know what to say. There, that one looks really good.
That's Arkham Origins. That's the one you said you didn't think looked very cool.
I can't tell. A lot of them do look kind of similar. Well, that one looks good.
CW.
Oh, maybe I do like the CW a little bit.
And that's Arkham Origins again. So.
The one that stood out to me was the Teen Titans one.
Yeah, the Slade one. Mm-hmm.
I would say that one is more like what I think of as Deathstroke would be Teen Titans.
Yep. I mean, I kind of like the DC Cinematic Universe one. It's kind of like a mix of like the Titans and the 2003 Titan show, Arkham Origins, and then Zack Snyder's own take. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool looking. And also, as a helmet, it's not like a ninja mask. But if you go back and you look to how Deathstroke looked in the 80s, then you could see that... Okay, they're not even going to do this right, are they? Yeah, there you go, look. That's kind of... That's what he looked like as Deathstroke the Terminator.
Yeah, that looks cool, but I don't... This guy looks way scrawnier than that. Also, his face looks too small. That's the first thing I thought was weird.
He also had... Where's the disco boots?
Also, Luke, this looks more like a mask.
Yeah.
It's not conforming to his face that much.
Well, yeah.
They're making it conform to his face too much. Like he's plastic wrap on his face.
Plastic wrap?
Shrink wrap.
Shrink wrap? Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I like this one. That
one looks like what you're.
Yeah. That's the '90s one.
The helmet looks like that one.
Yeah, that's the '90s Deathstroke.
With the boots.
With the boots. Yep. What do you look like in the 2000s? OO's Deathstroke. Boop. No. So the OO's, they're just counting as Arkham Origins, the redesign. Okay.
I don't like it when it conforms to his face. I feel like it's better when it's like a mask.
What do you look like in Injustice? I don't remember what he looked like in Injustice. He wasn't in Injustice 2. He should have been.
Well, it looks like you have a couple Deathstroke people.
Yeah. We got a couple of Deathstroke.
So is this the only Deathstroke skin they're gonna have?
Yeah. That's what he looks like in Injustice.
That looks good.
Yeah. I like the Injustice one too. Yeah, I think the Injustice one is my favorite interpretation of it. It's like kind of an old meets new type thing.
Yeah.
Mixture of Arkham Origins
They did a good job with Injustice.
Yeah. Yep, he looked good in that. This is more comic booky.
Didn't his daughter cut her eye out to make her dad proud or something?
Yeah, in some versions she took out her own eye, yeah. Other versions he did it.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Most the good stories she does it to herself. The ones where the dad does it, it's kind of weird. It's like, oh.
I don't feel like he would do that.
Depends how evil they're making him in the comic. Depends on which interpretation of the character it is.
I feel like that
the one where Rose does it, it's like to horrify her dad. That's really good storytelling. The one where they have Deathstroke do it, it's kind of lazy storytelling. Like, oh, the reason why Rose did it was very symbolic because of how much she hated her dad.
I don't feel like she would still be around him if he did it to her.
Exactly. Well, I mean, she wasn't.
Oh.
That was when she was a Titan or whatever that he did it to her or something like that.
Oh, wow.
You have to remember that there's not really a full continuity for stuff because usually when new writers come in, they change stuff or they like kind of soft reboot things sometimes.
Yeah.
So different Titans writers do different things. The Rose Wilson that I really liked was the one that she did the wound herself. And then it was like, look, I'm just like you now, Dad. And he was kind of horrified, like, what have I done? You know? And it showed kind of like a human aspect to Deathstroke the Terminator. A little bit.
I honestly feel like I wish they would have shown all the stuff that he did to Harley, the Joker, but I couldn't have watched it.
No, of course not. That's why they had to cut it.
I couldn't have watched it myself.
Well, it was going to be an R-rated movie because of all the violence and stuff that Joker did, but they cut it out. So, cut it out. Although I really
wish they would have like implied it.
Yeah.
Then had it off screen.
I wanted to see at least the scene after like he slapped her, where there were repercussions where she pulled a gun on him. Like later on in the story, that would have been interesting to see.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It was just the Suicide Squad movie was a mess. It just was.
Yeah, I thought it was weird that Harley was dancing in a bar. Like, it just doesn't seem like her character. I don't know.
It felt like watching two high schoolers that were like very much in love, but they were kind of crazy for each other.
Yeah, that's what they were trying to make it like. Like, oh,
it didn't work.
We're just misunderstood.
It didn't work.
No.
And then when they did the Birds of Prey movie, and where she's like, you know, breaking up with him like randomly, or he broke up with her, it didn't make any sense, like context-wise, what was going on. It just felt like kind of like, oh, didn't he just like break her out of prison and risk his life or something like that? How is this Joker the one that Harley ends up hating in the Birds of Prey movie? It doesn't really make any sense. Like, they didn't really paint the Joker as that type of person, so it was just kind of like, okay, what Joker is this that, you know, Harley hates now? She didn't really hate him in the movie. So, I mean, And now, if he would have showed up and tried to kill everybody like he was supposed to, then yeah, I could see how she would be like, "Oh, we're at it, we're on a break because you're psycho." But no, it's just there was a huge disconnect from the storytelling. That's because Zack Snyder and David Ayer did know what they were doing. The people who came in to reshoot and change things and be like, "Okay, I want this and I want this," and then they didn't all work together to make it work.
I thought in the animated series.
You okay?
Yeah, I thought in the animated series, like, Harley was in Arkham for a long time, and Joker never bothered to get her out.
Yep.
Because he just didn't care. And
Yep.
the only time that she got out was, like, Batman would need her for help with something. Like, investigating something, and he'd be like, okay, you can...
Yeah, Paul Dini was a genius. There's one episode where she's been sitting in Arkham rotting for, like, months, and Batman breaks her out because Joker stole a nuke. And then she comes to realize in the episode, like, near the end of it, she's like, wait a second, all our friends, Harvey Two-Face, and all these other people are in Arkham. And she's like, the babies, aren't we going to swing by and pick up the babies? He's like, I'll get you new ones. She's like, no! You know?
She realizes that
and
he
then
doesn't care about anybody.
And then when he realizes she's not going to come with him, he just leaves. He's like, well, toodles.
Yeah, it just, like, shows their relationship perfectly.
And that was a cartoon. That was a Saturday morning cartoon that dealt with, like, that crazy relationship to show that, Joker was a bad guy. For a while it seemed like, yeah, he picked up Harley and... actually, no, he didn't rescue Harley. Batman and Robin took Harley out of Arkham, and then it was Grayson who said, wow, Harles, it's a good thing that you were just happened to be here with us, because it didn't leave put in enough time to swing by Arkham to pick you up before the mushroom cloud. And, it led to Harley...
he wouldn't have had the time. Even if he wanted to, he didn't leave time to get her.
Exactly. There was only enough time to get away. He didn't plan to get her. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then Joker was like, quiet, bird boy. And then she was like, is that true? He says, oh, no, of course I would have had time to swing by. Bird boy is just, crazy. And then she kept asking him more and more questions, and she came to the conclusion, wait a second, this doesn't add up.
That's why the animated series was written so perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you can't really compare it, like, the movies and TV shows and stuff of, like, the CW shows and everything like that now. They just get everything continuity.
One has good writing, one doesn't.
They
the
get
CW.
Everything wrong. Yeah, they get everything wrong. The characters don't make sense. They're not true to their character. It's not fun and exciting. Like, they make the characters dumb, unintelligent.
There is one silver lining. There's one silver lining for what's going on with the CW. At least Batwing is coming, and it's Luke, so...
That's cool.
That's cool. I just hope they don't make him, like, Falcon, like the plucky sidekick for a while. Because, I mean, Luke wasn't that way in the comics at all.
Well, yeah, like, I honestly... Like, not to be weird or something, or talking about the Marvel Universe, but I honestly thought, like, all that attention that they gave, like, like Captain Marvel and stuff in the Marvel Universe, that really should have been all the attention for Falcon, because he was supposed to take the mantle and be, like, the best, well, I don't know, the most powerful, but the leader of the whole thing. But they didn't really make, like, they should have really emphasized Falcon, like, had a series of movies for him becoming Captain America. Now they are, but that should have been what they were making a big, like...
Well, they had a 6-issue mini, like, they had, like, a, 6-episode miniseries, but yeah, I the fact that he turns down the shield and gives it away, like, where it looks like everything is, like, he's gonna accept the shield, and he has, like, some... repercussions about it, but he's going to honor his friend's wishes and things like that. That to me was kind of like, okay, cool. So Falcon's going to become Captain America in the next movie, or, he's going to be leading the Avengers. And then it was like, you had to go through this like wishy-washy version of it. It was just kind of like, to me, it was a little bit of a disconnect from how they brilliantly did it, like passing the torch with the Captain America actor and Falcon. Even though, Steve was much older in that scene, it was kind of a beautiful scene. It was like, wow. That's really sweet. And Bucky's okay with it because Bucky's got all kinds of problems and he's not ready to take on the mantle of his friend. He's doing his own thing. It makes sense that he would be okay with, Sam having that. And they, even in that simple scene that's no more than a minute long, I feel that they did a better job than the Falcon miniseries. because it's like
I need to watch both of those actually, because I don't know.
He was very wishy-washy throughout it.
Yeah.
And which gave rise to the U.S. Agent character, and which I like the U.S. Agent character. I like Bucky in it, and I did like Falcon in it. It's just some of the other stuff in there was just
But
kinda
yeah, I'm
meh.
excited for Luke. I don't know. I guess I'm comparing them. They both have wings and stuff like this. And they're similar characters, I guess. They're underappreciated characters.
Who?
Should get Falcon and also Luke Fox.
Oh, right. Well, we'll see what the CW does with Luke Fox. If anything, I mean, if he becomes Batwing, maybe HBO could be like, oh wow, these episodes that Luke Fox was Batwing did much better rating-wise than Batwoman. So let's give Luke his own show and put it on HBO Max. Score!
We'll be praying for that.
Yep.
I already told Blackwing I'm praying that they'll do the Jon Stewart Green Lantern movie. Looks like his prayers might be answered soon.
I mean, if that Discovery guy is really on board with what fans want, then yeah, Jon Stewart should see the light of day soon. Because Warner Media had no plans for Jon Stewart. Not utilizing him in the Snyder Cut was stupid.
Yeah, that was a lost... Because they had to show a Green Lantern in it, but they couldn't show anyone.
Right.
It's so stupid.
Well, I mean, Martian Manhunter was always going to show up, but then you were going to have a tease for, Green Lantern coming to Bruce's house at the end. That would have been nice.
I honestly liked how Martian Manhunter looked. I know nobody did, but I actually liked it. I thought he looked good.
I mean, if they had more of a budget, he probably would have looked better. But
he didn't look that bad.
Didn't look that bad.
To me. I don't know. I don't know what we were talking about to begin with. Oh, we're
I don't
talking
know.
about Deathstroke.
DC stuff.
Deathstroke.
When don't I talk about DC stuff when I play as DC characters? More or less.
I don't know.
I'm like a flying squirrel. Deathstroke the flying squirrel. This looks a lot like the glider that Deathstroke uses in the comics.
What angers me is when you tell people like, oh yeah, and that's just like Batwing, Luke Fox, and people in the comments are asking, who's that? And it's just like, wow.
Black Iron Man.
It's just like,
in DC.
How could people not... No, I'm not saying people are bad because they don't know, but DC is bad for not doing anything with Luke Fox, with the character. That's what I'm mad about. I'm not mad at the people who don't know who he is. I'm saying I'm always mad at DC because they never do anything with the character. It's so frustrating.
I am very surprised that they did not have, after his introduction in Batman Bad Blood, I am very shocked that Batwing did not show up in any more of the animated movies.
Yeah.
Like, he's like in one movie, and he had a really good character, and he was better than Batwoman in terms of the characterization, and he never appeared again until they wiped the slate clean with Justice League Apocalypse.
And that's what I don't like.
If
you and I were running that animation studio, it was like once Luke Fox got introduced, he would have like he would be bam 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 in like 3 or 4 more movies like right after that.
He would appear just as much as Nightwing would, or Batman would, call Luke and ask him something. I would have had him cameo more. Because I would have made people feel like, hey, these characters are actually living in this world and doing stuff.
That they know each other, because Nightwing knows Luke Fox.
Right.
Like, they interact. Like, it's not... I don't like how they have, like... They keep, like... It's not fair, because... You're basically cutting out all of the people's friends and, people that they know in this DC comic book world. It's like, the world keeps getting smaller because you only have very few characters. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's like you're just pretending. It's just like it's just when you just pretend like all these characters don't exist, or you just only focus on... It's just like, I don't know. I just think it's weird. The same with when they try to do Batman movies without Robin. I think it's weird too. It's weird, It's like they can't even. I mean, just start with Luke Fox. He's I know Nightwing and him get along, and they're friends and everything. They're similar age. Like, gosh, Nightwing needs friends, for goodness sake.
Nightwing needs friends.
And then you continue adding other people, like like
But
Deathstroke's daughter and everything else, like.
The cool thing they could have done is they had something called DC Shorts, right? Yeah. Non-speaking things. There could have been like fun little Bat Family short 5-minute animations they could have attached to a Blu-ray showing like adventures of Luke and Nightwing and Damian just kind of hanging out, doing their stuff.
And also, yeah, exactly. Luke Fox is a member of the Bat family.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He's Batwing.
Ever since the New 52, that is correct. Now they're this is why I don't like the next Batman, like the Jace, basically Luke Fox's brother, because in the future they've turned Luke Fox into essentially Lex Luthor. They've made him a bad guy.
Why?
That's working for the magistrate. I don't know why.
They do that?
They just did. And they make Tim Fox, if you didn't know this, Tim Fox was a criminal. Like, his brother, the reason why Tim Fox hasn't shown up since the 70s is because he was a literal criminal.
Wow.
Like, Lucius Fox never spoke about him because he was essentially a bad guy.
Thank you for the super chat.
And Luke Fox, it was like the difference between, like, a Cain and Abel. Like,
yeah. One of the brothers went to cross.
Tim, future state Batman, like the guy they decided to make future state Batman because they didn't want to use Luke, which it made more sense to use Luke. Anyway, but it's the Cain and Abel thing. Tim was Cain,
so
the
they
guy.
Used Cain.
Right, they used Cain. They wanted Cain, who had a criminal rap sheet, had a lot of problems, and basically didn't do the stuff that his father requested of him, you know. And then you have the good son, Luke, who they have Abel, but in the future they turn Abel evil. It doesn't make any sense. Like, Luke Fox was never really big about material possessions and like kind of a Tony Stark character, and they turned him into that in Future State. So I hated Future State because outside of like the Nightwing character and Bruce Wayne and Tim Drake and stuff like that, a lot of the DC characters were unrecognizable in Future State. It was terrible.
Thank you, Sammy Bear King. Says, Luke, would you read an Etrigan and Creeper run?
Would I ever read about Etrigan? I'm not a big fan of demons in general because of the whole spiritual stuff. So I've never really seen demons as heroic creatures because, you know, Christian, it kind of, you know, polar opposite of my faith. They're the bad guys, you know, according to scripture and, you know, the Bible and stuff like that. So I don't mess with the occult or spiritual forces because that's the other side. I think Etrigan was an interesting character from the stuff I've seen, but I would never go out of my way to become a fan of, you know, Jason Blood and stuff like that.
Was he really a demon?
Yeah, he's always been a demon.
Oh,
Merlin made him a demon.
I thought he just looked like one.
No, Merlin ripped a demon out of hell and fused it with Jason Blood.
Oh, wow.
In order to defeat Morgana. Yeah. He's like, I mean, if you go old school, that's what he did. He took a creature from hell and he mashed it together with Jason Blood's soul, and boom.
Oh, wow. Creepy.
You have Etrigan. The cool thing about Etrigan was the fact that he was, you know, speaking in rhyme.
But could he be half demon, half person?
I guess he could be like Nephilim
like
or something, but
Dante
is a little different.
Because he looks human.
He mostly looks human. Yeah. I do like Devil May Cry, but not to the point that, like, you know, it gets confusing. A little bit too much out of my wheelhouse, so to speak.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, like some people wouldn't understand, but like taking creatures of the night and making them heroes. But who's Creeper? I don't even know.
Creeper? I can explain Creeper to you. Do you remember that guy Jack Ryder in the animated series and Arkham, who's always going around and he's basically like the Conan O'Brien, or he's a you know, this hotshot reporter that's not as cool as Vicky Vale. So one night, Jack Ryder's doing his thing, and Joker and Harley show up, and they throw him into the same vat of chemicals that turned the Joker into who he was.
Oh, wow.
So Ryder goes through the chemicals, and he becomes a anti-hero / vigilante called the Creeper, which is basically, he's the Joker. Same thing happened to him. Somehow he has like powers a little bit though, which is it's never explained how the Joker doesn't have like superpowers or like enhanced strength or whatever. But the Creeper's like this dude who walks around, he laughs like the Joker, he wears a colorful costume that's a kind of like animal-like red and green, and he's a superhero in a sense. I can show you what it looks like.
I liked Etrigan a lot, but I didn't know that he was like
I didn't tell you that.
I didn't know he was part demon. I thought he just looks like one.
No, it's not a Nightcrawler situation. He's literally, his soul is fused together with a demon. Where is and the demon was actually evil, but then when Merlin fused their souls together, they became like one soul. So it wasn't necessarily good or evil anymore. It was kind of middle.
I heard on the nothing. I heard on the weird side of YouTube that if you're half human and you're half demon, that you can be like, you can have salvation still.
There. That's the creeper.
But I don't know.
See?
So
instead of his face being white, he was turned yellow.
Oh wow.
And he ran around with like this weird
Oh, that guy has a creepy smile. He looks like the Joker almost.
I told you, he fell in the same vat of chemicals as the Joker.
Oh, that's what you were saying.
Yeah. And he laughs, see?
So he's like the Joker, but he's
like a good version of the Joker, but...
Oh, he's a good guy?
Anti-hero.
Wow.
I mean, he kills people.
Anti-hero, oh my gosh.
Yeah. But he's kind of like one of Batman's... Jack Ryder, yep.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow, there's his Lego.
Yeah, we had his Lego. His, Lego DC Superheroes
Wikipedia.
games. Yep. I used to contribute to Wikipedia in the past. Wikipedia.
Very cool.
I don't anymore.
Maybe we'll have time once we get all our
I don't know.
debt paid. Then
but yeah. That's who the creeper is.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hopefully they'll do something good with Luke Fox. I don't know. Whatever is, like, they just... I mean... I don't know.
If really the Discovery people are in charge of, like, all the Warner Brothers assets and they see... Because right now, Batwoman's ratings are abysmal.
Yeah.
Like, if the ratings shoot up when people see Batwing the way he is, if I was an executive, I'd be like, oh my gosh, the test audience is really like Luke. Let's see how he does with his own show. This isn't working. This Batwoman show is only getting, like, in the demo about 300,000 views an episode. That's a loss for us. We can't even sell advertisers. We've been, peddling to people on Twitter. They're not watching, which would make me assume that the trending for Batwoman is all bots or sock puppet accounts. So then I'd be like, okay, these Luke Fox episodes where he was a prominent figure, and especially his transformation into the character, let's give him his own show on HBO Max. A limited run, 6 episodes. Rip a story from the comics that's really popular. Maybe introduce another Batman character, like a tie-in with the Titan show. Boom.
Yeah, I think it's so sad that they would choose Luke Fox's brother to be Batman instead of him, because Luke Fox has worked so hard to be a good person and to be an upstanding citizen.
I can tell you why.
And be kind to people.
You won't like the reason, but...
And I just feel like it's so wrong that he would work that hard and then...
Tim Fox was chosen to be Batman because he was street. And the writer of the DC Future State Batman book said, I kid you not, he said Luke Fox is too white to be Batman.
It's so racist.
Even though
to
Luke
say
Fox
that.
is, African American.
How could you say that?
Because he grew up and he worked with white people, and Tim Fox, who's been on the street and he's had to survive on his own, he is a more interesting character to tell their stories about their struggle, as opposed to Luke, who is a person of privilege.
Actually, that's not true, because if you actually look at the people that are working at that science lab, a lot of them are not white.
I know. It doesn't...
Even the guy who was playing the Atom is Asian,
right.
And also his dad works there,
yep.
Who's black, obviously. So that's actually... The guy who's writing that comic is stereotyping and saying that only certain people work at a science lab.
This is why I don't like comic book pros, is because their vision of the world is horribly twisted.
Yeah, that's a pretty twisted vision.
And
think like, oh, well, only this race of people would work at this lab. It's
right.
like, why though?
The writer is allowed to say whatever he wanted, but he used this motivation to turn Luke Fox into essentially Tim's villain. Like his Lex Luthor. He changed. He could have said all that stuff. He could have been like, okay, I don't want to use Luke Fox because I believe that he's too privileged and white. That's fine. But then he used this motivation to make Luke Fox greedy. Luke Fox, break ties with all the DC superheroes and basically become like a spy for the Magistrate. And essentially become like a, African version of Lex Luthor. He's one of the big bads in Future State who, is abiding to this, horrible things happening.
I thought Luke Fox was in the military, though.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So...
He was a good guy.
I don't feel like people that risk their lives for other people are, greedy or something. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, DC Future State is kind of done, guys, but it lives on through, these weird miniseries that this writer is... And even though the series isn't doing well with these Tim Fox, Batman stories, what they did with Injustice. You know how Injustice were like mini episodes? You would get like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of a series, and you go and you would read that. That's where these Tim Fox stories are right now. And it's just kind of like a side project for DC because they want to replace Batman with Tim Fox Batman. Like, they want people to think that, okay, we know we said this was a possible universe for, the future of the DC universe, but under Warner Media, that's what they were trying to do. They're trying to segue Bruce Wayne out, and they're doing all these mini novels about Tim Fox's Batman as the future Batman.
There's so many things you could say about that. That just shows how messed up that is.
Oh, of course, it's very messed up.
Because, like, I don't know, that reminds me of this girl from Nigeria that I was watching her vlog, and she was talking about how she hates the idea where people act like, oh, well, she hates the idea where they're saying...
No, we're not talking about Batman of Shanghai, we're talking about Future State stuff.
Yeah. She was just saying she hates the idea where you would equate one type of person or one race or something with success and another race with not being successful. She's like, why would you... She's like, you're trying to tell me I'm like a child, like I can't succeed. She's like, when I'm from Nigeria and like this is the most successful group of people, of immigrants to the United States ever. Like more than, like there's some kind of study where Nigerians are more successful than any other group of people, like immigrants. And it's just like, she was saying like, why would you... So what you're saying, what they're saying in that comic book is they're equating like a certain, ethnicity to success or not success. So saying if you're too successful, then you're too, then you're too white. That's so stupid.
Right, that's what he said on like one of those
but that's racist for
ethnic
him to say
sites.
That though.
He didn't say it to mainstream. He said he said it on like one of those, sites that's catered to a certain audience.
That's wrong for him to say that though.
Right, but the fact that he has that mindset going into this miniseries and you slowly see a side of Luke Fox, that's why I don't like, if you guys don't want this Batman to come to be, don't buy these books. Like, if you don't support this miniseries when DC Comics is under Discovery's banner, then they'll cancel this stuff. It'll never happen. It won't be the future.
Because, that's literally putting, no offense, but that guy is literally putting black people down by saying that.
He doesn't see it as that way.
I do.
Oh, I know.
And there are a lot of, like, immigrants from Africa and stuff that see it like that, and a lot of people that see it like that.
No. The Batman of Shanghai is something else. There's multiverse Batmans, and different people outside of Bruce Wayne have been Batman. The Shanghai short was really good. The Ninja Batman thing was really interesting, where Batman went to Japan and stuff like that. That movie was pretty cool. There is a current /manga/Western comic about Red Hood being reimagined as like kind of a Asian superhero. Really interesting on DC Infinite. I haven't read a lot of it though because I'm not really big in manga. I like anime, but I don't like reading manga because I never read it correctly. You have to read it differently than how you would American comic books. American comic books, you have one way of reading, and then manga, they mirror it or they do something. It's always too hard for me to follow. That's why I prefer anime, because it's like I can see it in motion, I can follow the story, I love it. But when I read the books, I'm just kind of like, where am I supposed to be reading again? And that's because I'm dyslexic too, so I mean, it's hard for me to, my right and my left and all this other stuff.
So Luke, how did Deathstroke lose his eye anyway?
How did Deathstroke lose his eye? There's a couple versions. Torture from the U.S. government, an assassin's bullet, assassin's knife, fight with Batman.
Oh wow.
Fight with Dick Grayson. Sometimes his eye is destroyed because of like a fire or acid, like Two-Face. Like sometimes instead of just his eye missing, there'll be like a scar, like kind of like a burned scar on his face. It all depends who's writing him. Like it changes all the time.
Wow, somebody's pet cat. No, I'm just kidding.
No. The most popular one was experiments from the U.S. government.
Well,
because he's basically Captain America.
He's like a super soldier.
Yeah, he's Captain America.
He's like super soldier combined with
assassin,
like
yeah, he doesn't have a shield that he throws around with people. He has super strength.
He's like Winter Soldier.
He has a really good healing factor, but not Wolverine style healing factor or Deadpool style healing factor. He is superhuman in a sense. That's why he was able to kick Batman's butt in the 80s. Except now, when Batman and Deathstroke have fought in the New 52, it kind of came to a stalemate. But their first introduction of Deathstroke fighting Batman in the 70s, or sorry, early 80s, Deathstroke mopped the floor with Batman. Like, and he left him, like, near death, like, hanging off the edge of a skyscraper.
Wow.
And, you know, basically slayed... I forget what he wrote. He wrote something, like, pretty, like, bat-shamey, or not shamey. Like, No. He wrote a good burn on the wall, like, in spray paint when Batman got up. Like, I could kill you at any time, or whatever. Yeah.
I think the thing about Nightwing taking, or Dick Grayson taking his eye out is pretty cool, honestly. It's pretty crazy.
I think it happened in one of the Titans reimagining. I think Chuck Dixon said, like, a Batarang from Robin did it.
Oh, wow.
You have to remember that I view Chuck Dixon's version of Batman, Robin, and Nightwing as, like, canon, even to this day, because it was superior storytelling. Like, if I ever wrote for DC Comics, I would model my work after Chuck Dixon and Gal Simone, before Gal Simone went crazy. And Devin Grayson would be my inspirations. Devin Grayson, Chuck Dixon, Gal Simone before she went nuts, Jude Winnick, and Paul Dini, and what's that other writer I really liked? Can't remember his name. The guy who did Hush, Jeff Loeb, I think.
So what do you think?
Joseph Loeb.
Like, what do you think of, like, did they say the new Batman movie is gonna be good? Or no?
The new Batman movie's having problems in post-production. And it is not tested well for,
Great.
Well, I mean, it's not what you haven't seen what they did to the Riddler, have you?
Oh, I have a bad feeling about
The Riddler is he's a serial killer. Like, he looks like Alfred Hitchcock or, like, some type of really creepy Clockwork Orange serial killer.
The Riddler.
Right. So that's one of the changes that people don't like. The race swapping of Catwoman and Jim Gordon are kind of secondary to all the other changes that people don't like. You know. So, I mean, mostly the Riddler and the storytelling in general has not really gotten people on board, because they said they used an inspiration for the Long Halloween. It doesn't feel like that. In fact, the better movie that you're probably going to see about the Long Halloween will be in a couple weeks, of the animated version with the guy from Supernatural on, playing Batman.
I think the Riddler... I mean, I always, like, get the Riddler confused with the guy that makes all those traps, and, like, it's like the guy who traps Batman, and to get him
the puzzle guy
to remove his mask. The guy who gets him to remove
Wormwood.
Yeah, I always get him and the Riddler confused.
I mean, there's a lot of puzzle-based villains for Batman, but yeah, that's the guy who uses death traps. Wormwood.
Yeah, that's what I always thought the Riddler was like.
No, Riddler only uses death traps against Batman.
But I always thought, like,
he doesn't.
The Riddler. Yeah, like, the Riddler, he basically makes Batman go on a wild goose chase everywhere.
Right, so this Riddler is going to have Batman go on a wild goose chase, but it's going to lead him to a lot of dead mafia people. And even dead police officers and other things. So, from what you need to know, the movie did not test well with audiences from what people have seen so far.
Yeah, I don't remember the Riddler killing that many people, though. I thought he was just supposed to try to kill Batman.
Right, that's part of it. But the story, people don't like the story. People who enjoyed the Long Halloween, who were very excited for Matt Reeves' vision, that's also part of the reason why they announced some good PR for Matt Reeves, because they want people to know that he's going to be involved with Batman for a long time. That's why he's working together with Bruce Timm on this new Batman animated series. The reason why Warner Brothers announced that this new animated series was coming with Matt Reeves and Bruce Timm involved is because they knew some bad news about the new Batman 2022 movie was going to start leaking, and they wanted people to know that Matt Reeves is going to be attached to Batman stuff for a long time, and, you know, it's nothing to worry about. Here, focus on the animated series coming out.
Why didn't they have Bruce Timm work on the Batman movie then?
I've never understood why they don't have Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, Alan, and a bunch of other people work in the live-action field. And, you know, if Dwayne McDuffie was still alive, he would have been a great transition from animation to live-action.
Yeah.
A good director can direct anything. And I feel like a lot of those directors that were in animation could do great live-action, but people don't give them the chance. You know.
I mean, they've made the best Batman stories and movies and shows so far.
The problem with Bruce Timm is, if Bruce Timm is not paired with somebody good, he's going to release a crappy product. Case in point, The Killing Joke. Killing Joke was a terrible Bruce Timm movie. The Harley Quinn and Nightwing movie was a little weird.
So Bruce Timm and Paul Dini are like the like dynamic duo.
Yeah. The Bruce Timm, like, Harley Quinn and Nightwing movie where, you know, Harley Quinn and Nightwing did the bow chicka bow bow. It was a mediocre movie, but it wasn't terrible. Like, people cannot stand the Killing Joke animated movie because they butchered a classic story that everybody was excited that Bruce Timm, Kevin Conroy, and Mark Hamill were all attached to. And the joke, or the thing that was very serious about Mark Hamill not doing Batman anymore, it kind of started with the whole after Arkham City thing he was done. But a lot of the rumors really started to progress more after The Killing Joke because he wasn't happy with how that happened. Like, he didn't... Yeah. And Kevin Conroy wasn't too thrilled about some of the stuff that happened in that movie either. Because it was supposed to be a book that really both Conroy and Hamill really liked. And it did not come out well.
Yeah, I feel like it's so much pressure to do a good Batman movie now because, like, there's been so many diversions of Batman.
The Long Halloween is going to be a very good movie, and Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy are going to kick themselves that they weren't a part of it. Because it's going to be a very awesome opportunity, kind of like how The Dark Knight Returns with the RoboCop voice actor being Batman.
Yeah.
Those turned into iconic films. This is going to be the same thing with The Long Halloween, parts 1 and 2.
And that's what that one guy, what is his name again?
The dude who played Red Hood in the Under the Red Hood movie is now Batman.
Oh.
He might be the Batman voice actor for this new, like, shared universe, because people are saying, this is a rumor, but they're saying that the Long Halloween movie is not an Elseworld story. It takes place in the Flash that was introduced in the Justice Society World War II movie with Wonder Woman, and the Superman Man of Tomorrow. Like, it's in that universe. That's the big rumor. You might even see an Easter egg for either Metropolis or Flash's City in Long Halloween 1 or 2. So, Jason could be the new, like, animated movie Batman. You know, if this movie does well, they'll just say, yeah, this is connected. This is the new Justice League that's going to be coming for animated films. You're going to have the Supernatural guy. You're going to have whoever played Superman, whoever played the Flash in those, you know, 2 movies. Because before they were telling people, because they're worried about a shared universe, they were saying, no, these movies are all separate. Justice Society movie is separate from the Superman movie that just came out, and the Long Halloween movie is its own thing. You don't need to worry about it. Go and see it. You're going to like it. Because you don't need to worry about continuity. There is continuity. Because there was continuity in the Flash movie with the Justice Society, which you still haven't seen. That's an amazing movie. Very, very well done. No finger wagging. Fun story. Great voice acting. It's a little violent. It's pretty extreme. But it was a really good movie. And if you want like a cool Superman new continuity with that last Superman movie that came out that was kind of okay, the one where they reimagined Superman's story in Martian Manhunter, I thought it was interesting. And I could kind of see these guys like in a shared universe.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're gonna see.
I don't know if I saw the one with the reimagining thing.
I have both. I have the Superman one on Amazon Video that we downloaded, and I have the Wonder Woman movie, like the new one.
Yeah, I liked the Wonder Woman movie.
No, you haven't seen this one. It takes place in World War II.
Oh, I liked the old Wonder Woman movie on the animated one.
The 2009 one? Yeah. That's a really good one.
And I think I liked that better than the Wonder Woman live action movie, to be honest.
Yeah, I probably did like the 2009 animated movie better than Gal Gadot's first movie, but I did like Gal Gadot's first movie. I did not like her second.
I liked her first movie a lot.
Ah!
I think the guy who played her, like, Steve or whatever, did a good job, but the last movie was weird.
Well, the third movie is going to be even weirder, and apparently Gal Gadot, like, after Wonder Woman 3, she's out. She, like...
Well, maybe she should try to, like... I don't know if it's her fault the movies keep being terrible, or...
It's her directors. Although, which I've told you before, once you go to Hollywood, you know, you change. So while Gal Gadot had a different version of the world and saw it, you know, when she was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and, like, Snyder's vision and stuff like that, when she's left to her own devices with, you know, other, you know, crazy people, then they make crazy movies. Although they're learning, which hopefully they do learn this, that their core audience is not on Twitter. So when you appease the psychos on Twitter, you're not going to make a movie that everybody is going to love. You'll make a movie that people on Twitter like, but they're the minority.
Honestly,
they're not the majority.
You know, remember like a long time ago, like obviously we weren't alive, but they got rid of alcohol from all of the United States because they said it was bad for society.
Well, apparently people
should get rid of Twitter because it's bad for society. Like they
should.
They should just literally, like, somebody should just become president and just be like, you know what? We don't actually need this. Like, I know you guys really want it, but this is really bad. Like, we need to get rid of it. I'm banning it. Like, I mean, they already did that with TikTok in India. They just banned TikTok.
Yeah, it's banned in India.
Completely banned.
But the rumor going around is Gal Gadot said something on her Instagram, which wasn't bad. She just didn't choose a side with the whole, like, you know, war in Israel.
Oh, that's interesting since she's...
Yeah, I know.
Israel.
It was it's kind of interesting that she kind of picked, like, the middle ground. But because she didn't pick any side, like, she's getting lambasted still, even though this was weeks ago. And the rumor is that Warner Brothers, or rather Warner Media before they become Discovery, they're trying to yeet Gal Gadot because they don't like her stance.
But she didn't even take a stance.
No, she didn't take a stance. She said she wished for peace for both of them. She wished for peace. Isn't
that the stance everyone should take?
Yeah.
I don't understand what the problem is.
Right. But, you know, Twitter tried to cancel her, and then all this other stuff happened. She grew quiet and her movie didn't do well, and, you know, so it's like all the leverage that Warner Brothers needs to get rid of her.
But honestly, people were mad from the beginning that she was picked. They said they didn't want an Israeli playing Wonder Woman because they hated Israelis. Like, there were people that were so anti, like, Israelis from the beginning.
Right. I would love how they would say, I'm not anti-Jewish or not anti-Israeli, but I don't like the fact that an Israeli is playing Wonder Woman. It's like, you're an oxymoron.
Then you are.
You even brought up her nationality, saying you don't like her. That makes you racist.
Exactly.
Morons.
Exactly.
And that was years ago.
Imagine you saying that phrase, but insert a different race in.
Right. I don't like so and so because
You know, like, I'm not anti people with, you know, brown eyes, but I just don't feel comfortable.
I don't feel comfortable with people with brown eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not anti this.
But people aren't intelligent anymore. People are stupid. Like you know.
Yeah.
That's the sad thing. But yeah. They're trying to get rid of Wonder Woman, and then there's a huge group that they're like, no, we don't want Wonder Woman gone.
How could they expect her to turn on her own country?
I have no idea.
What kind of person? What are they? I mean, can you imagine her going back to her country and then? Can you imagine her going back to her country and then, say she did take the other side, so everyone would be happy.
Everybody on Twitter and Tumblr would be happy.
Can you imagine her going back to her home in Israel after that? I mean, what is she gonna do? Like, sell out her own people? Like, what in the world?
Yeah.
What do you expect her to do?
Yeah. So, somebody asked, what's going on with the whole Zack Snyder and Wonder Woman thing? He was a producer and he cast her. It's like, well, right now, Warner Media is trying to completely yeet Zack Snyder from Warner Brothers completely. They don't want him anymore. Even though he did the Snyder Cut, there's so many different divisions at Warner Brothers. Or I don't even call them Warner Brothers. Sorry. There's a huge war at Warner Media before Warner Media was sold to Discovery. So Discovery likes what Snyder's doing. So, you know, Warner Media were the bad guys. Warner Media were the people that don't know what they're doing. Discovery is the new kid on the block that's coming in, and they've seen what the Snyder Cut did. There's even a rumor that this summer, when Discovery gets full control of Warner Media by the end of the year, we might actually get the real numbers released for what the Snyder Cut did. Because to this day, Warner Media refuses to release the actual numbers for how well the Snyder Cut did. They refuse to release it. They don't want people to know. When they do that to try to hide the data, that means that the film was actually successful. But they don't want people to know that because they want to do Black Superman. They want to do the Batwoman movie with Batgirl. they want to do, like, the stuff without Ben Affleck and Deathstroke and Henry Cavill, and they want to get rid of Gal Gadot, and they want to just focus on the Flash, and they want to get rid of Victor and all these other people.
But it's like, it's not fair to Gal that the only thing... She hasn't really done anything. The only thing that people are mad at her about is her race. Like, they actually just hate her from who she is. Mm-hmm. It's just, like, so messed up.
And that's exactly who Wonder Woman needed to be, though. Wonder Woman needed to be that kind of symbol. Like, it was good that they just didn't hire, like, you know, an American with brown hair or black hair or whatever Wonder Woman has. It was actually cool that they made... Zack Snyder took, like, this amazing gamble, and he was like, we need, like, a girl from, you know, overseas that's very mysterious and can look like she comes from this
the
world of
Mediterranean
Themyscira.
area.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was a really smart idea.
She lives right in that area.
Yep. So, I mean, everybody should be hopeful about the whole Discovery thing because I think it's really going to shift things. And I think The Rock knew about this.
She even has a cool accent.
Because The Rock, like, has said in interviews while he's working on, you know, his movie that the hierarchy at DC and Warner Brothers is about to change. I think he knew about the Discovery thing happening. But the funny thing, a lot of people at Warner Media didn't know they were being sold off by AT&T. It was just kind of like, surprise, everybody, you're going to have a new boss soon, and people are freaking out. And then you had some people that are like, no, it's just a merger, everything's going to be fine. It's not a merger. AT&T is yeeting Warner Media. They bought a bunch of stock. They bought like 70% stock, but they're done.
Didn't they get the memo?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I'm taking over. I'm taking over WB, and I'm firing you.
Why
didn't you get the memo?
Why do you think that Jason, the guy at Warner Media, who's the current CEO, is looking for another job?
Oh,
if it was really a merger, he would stay on. It's not a merger. He's leaving.
Him.
He's leaving. He's like, I got a year to figure out where I'm going. I'm going. So yeah.
I'm out.
Exactly. So, I mean,
I'm sorry. I talk too much about weird DC stuff.
We always talk about DC stuff when we look at DC characters.
I'm sorry.
So anyway, guys, there you go. That is Deathstroke. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun. Tomorrow is going to be a lot of Metopia. I get to play a cat game. And I believe this weekend we are giving away the Monster Hunter game. So
oh, yeah, this weekend.
We don't need to understand this. We do not have a code anymore. The code got lost. There's a problem with Capcom. The code doesn't work. I can't reach my Capcom rep. So, what I am doing is I am giving you a gift certificate for the code. So you put in the Nintendo points card on your own system at home, and it'll be the equal amount. Oh, you're thinking of the Turbo Man thing, aren't you? Yeah, okay.
No, you thought I had the codes here in the studio? No, what we have is a gift certificate for a free Turbo Man so that you will get the doll eventually.
No, it won't be eventually. So during the stream, you guys will get...
You will get the code.
The winner will get a Nintendo points card code for the equal amount of buying the game. So it'll be 2 Nintendo points cards, probably. Like one that's $50 and then one that's $10. And so actually you get a little bit more than, you know, just a whatever game. Yeah. All right, so that is the last of Fortnite for a while until the next DC character or superhero character in general. There is, you love his nose.
I don't know. He's very... The mask is very form-fitting on him.
It's a ninja mask. How is it not supposed to be form-fitting?
I don't know. It's just, things weird me out sometimes.
Should I get a ski mask like that?
No, it's weird. If you did, could you please just have only the one eye? Like, if they made a ski mask, could they make it only with one eye showing? That would be so cool.
They have one, but I mean, I would bump into things. Show you the mask, and then I stub my foot on the couch. Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Good stream, honey. Sorry for talking about stuff.
Got it. I got it. I got what? I hope the next character is... We don't know who the next character is going to be. Yeah, I don't really know what you guys are spamming, but I mean...
This weekend, we will be giving away the Monster Hunter code.
Yep, so if you guys are interested in Ultimate streams, Cat Quest 2 is tomorrow, Symphony of the Night is on Thursday. There is no stream happening after the Metopia stream on Wednesday. Or not Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday, because it's our anniversary. Wait, what is today? What is today?
I don't know.
It is Wednesday. Okay. I I don't. There is no Symphony of the Night stream on Thursday because that's our anniversary. I don't think you want to see me play Symphony of the Night.
What's Symphony of the Night?
The Castlevania game.
Why not?
I told you I wasn't streaming like past 9 o'clock on our anniversary because you wanted to watch a movie or something.
Oh, that's okay. You can stream Symphony of the Night.
I don't know if I really want to work, but.
Okay, well, why don't we talk about it? We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. So, the Cat Quest will be today, and then on Friday will be more Xenoblade. Saturday will probably be Symphony of the Night, and then on Sunday will be another Ultimate thing. And there's Miitopia all this week, so if you guys are here for Miitopia's boatload of Miitopia. Too much Miitopia. And then the Final Fantasy VII Remake DLC will be coming out soon, and we'll be doing uploads of that. But you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you for the fun discussion. Thank you for being civil to one another. Most importantly, talking about comic book stuff. You guys rock. That's why the people who follow me are good people and not crazies. So, appreciate you guys subscribing and hanging out on the channel.
I'm crazy.
No. You're nothing like Tumblr and Twitter, honey. You're fine. Alright, guys. God bless. Have a great night. And check out Deathstroke Zero in Fortnite right now. Bye-bye.
See ya.
My foot.